You know, we're all familiar with the story of Jonah and the whale. Some of us read it in the Bible, and it's pretty much a story that's known almost everywhere. Well, you remember it went kind of like this, that God told Jonah he wanted him to go to Nineveh to preach, and Jonah said, no, I don't want to do that. And he got on the ship and went the opposite way from Nineveh. And while that ship was out at sea, a big old storm came up, and that thing was being tossed about, kind of like kids would toss a beach ball at the shore, all over the place. And people decided, Jonah, he was probably bad luck. So they rolled the dice, and sure enough, come up, Jonah was bad luck. So they took him and threw him out into the sea. As soon as he hit the water just turned to glass, smooth as ice. Well, Jonah didn't do so well, because he's a flailing around, trying to swim and stuff, and a big old fish came along and swallowed him just like that. Now, people say that was probably a whale, but I say no. No, I think it was a Jewfish. Because you see, I read this story about the scuba diver down in the Gulf of America, and he was cleaning the pilings on one of those oil drilling rigs, and a big old Jewfish come up behind him and opened his mouth and sucked him right in. Well, they say that when that fish opened the mouth, it created like a vacuum, and that just kind of sucked that scuba diver right in. Well, spit him out. Some say fish didn't like the way the diver tasted, and others say, well, he just hiccuped. Well, Jonah was a lot worse off. He stayed in the Jewfish's belly for about 3 days before he repented, and then he got spit up on dry land. Now, there's a sign in a rock that marks the spot where they said Jonah was spit up. Now, if you believe that story, that's where he spit up, that means that the ship he was on, when he got thrown overboard, was in the Persian Gulf, not in the Mediterranean Sea. I don't really think it's that way, but I am sure one thing, that there's a Jewfish that did that. Oh, by the way, Jewfishes can grow to be big as a Smart for 2 car. They can grow to be huge fish, and they do live in both the Mediterranean Sea and the Gulf of America. But now the term Jewfish just is considered a derogatory term. But that doesn't sound quite right. I mean, Jonah and the group doesn't have quite the right sound to it. Thank you.